Stars are really old objects in the universe. As a matter of fact, most of the stars that we see when we look up in the sky are billions and billions of years old, even older than that of Earth. Our own sun is over 5 billion years old, but believe it or not, all of these stars actually have a beginning. And for a very long time, we've been trying to find the earliest stages of these stars' first development within only a couple of days of what happens when they are first created, but it's been very hard due to the circumstances that involve it. When stars are first being created, what has to happen is a bunch of gas needs to be involved to form around a place of gravitational attraction, and usually where this happens the most often are places called nebulas. And in this case, we have actually used one of the most powerful telescopes to see the first moments of a brand new star for the first time ever. Since the beginning of science and astronomy itself, we've been unable to see this because of the density of clouds that exist in nebulas, and have only really been able to see slight infrared background radiation that new stars have given off using telescopes such as Spitzer. But now, with the help of a very large telescope called the ALMA telescope, they were able to scan a region of space where many stars were born, and for the first time were able to pierce through the thick clouds and see what was happening within. These are the first revolutionary and groundbreaking pictures of what's known as a protoplanetary disk, and it's basically what happens in the beginning of all solar systems when they're first forming, when the gas around a star first ignites and it creates the star itself, and then the rest of it starts accumulating around it and forming small planets. The age of some of the stars that are in these pictures are as old as a couple thousand years, and some even being as new as being only a couple of weeks old, estimatedly. But out of all of the examples of these pictures that were taken, there were 4 examples that stood out to be the most peculiar, and what scientists have thought to be the most newest stars that they caught in formation. They were newborn stars that looked extremely irregular and blobby, which suggested that these stars had not even ignited fusion yet, and they were barely even protostars at all. This picture right here shows exactly that of some of the brand new stars being formed out of the dust that existed deep within the Orion Nebula. The jets that you can see outlined in the pictures represent all of the gas that gets flung out into outer space because of how violent it gets in the center, similar to what happens when black holes eat a lot of gas in the center of galaxies and form quasars. This has also been theorized to be an example of what happens in the first couple of moments of a star's life as well, and the first time we've ever had actual visual evidence to confirm it. We've already seen examples of binary stars that are forming in the exact same way right next to each other, and even some examples of planets forming in the protoplanetary disk as well. And overall will just help us more understand as time goes on exactly what keeps the stars shining in the sky and what makes them start to begin with.